Hey guys, Jay here. So today in this video I want to talk about an incident that just recently happened, and you guys might have already heard about it, but I want to give my thoughts and have an open discussion with all of you, the viewers. So go ahead and post your comments down in the description, all that kind of stuff. Just remember to be, polite and respectful of other people's opinions and things like that. No blasting people, no flame wars, things like that. Just let's talk about our opinions and see where things go. And I will be replying to the comments that aren't childish, bitching and moaning things. I'm gonna actually reply to the people who actually have discussion points to talk about, things like that, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we can talk on Twitter too, doesn't matter. So let's get into the actual story. On May 25th, 2017, which was a couple weeks ago from this video, the lead singer of the band was an acquaintance of somebody who was sending her messages, and I don't know if she was an acquaintance as far as they knew each other, or if they were attending that convention and he was threatening her in a way, or something that's not explained in the article that I've been given, basically. There is a thread on Cosplay.com. This is where I got this article from, and everyone is pretty much, like, yeah, that's what happened. So it's something that's a true article. I can go off of it, whatever. But this lead singer knew this guy who was sending her messages. They don't say what the messages are, but she reported the messages to the police, and there were pictures, and this guy had pictures of a handgun, I think. I'm not sure if any of the other weapons he was caught with were in the pictures, but the reports say that they looked at the pictures good enough to determine that the handgun in the picture was real. That's all they say. But it turns out that he not only had this handgun, but when police got there, and like after a brief scuffle, basically, like, obviously he's not gonna let them arrest him. That wasn't the intention, obviously. So they had a kind of a little dispute, like probably like a struggle war type thing, They got him down, they searched him and everything, but they found a few weapons on him, and I have it pulled up on my computer, and it turns out that he had not only one handgun, but 3 handguns, a shotgun, a knife, ammo, and body armor. So he was ready for an attack. He was ready to do something really devastating. So props to this person. I don't know the name of this lead singer. I just know who the band is. I've heard of them before. So props to them for talking to the police in more than enough time to make sure that there were no casualties from this and no actual injuries. It turns out nobody was injured at all. This guy didn't get anywhere, basically. He was in the building for quite a while, but there were no victims or anything. He didn't harm anybody, so that's good. But here's the open discussion part of this video where you guys can talk about it. So for this open discussion, it has to do with rules and regulations for conventions from now on. So it turns out that this convention, and I got from a pretty reliable person, you can probably see it on screen here, and they were even telling people with teddy bears to leave, or at least to leave their teddy bears out, and they couldn't bring them. So that's getting pretty bad. I think that's a little too much. In fact, that's insane. You shouldn't be taking away a teddy bear because someone brought some guns in, If someone brought a gun into a convention that I go to, and I had a stuffed animal and they said you can't have that as a prop, I'd be like, what, are you fucking crazy? So, my teddy bear isn't gonna hurt anybody, Sure, I could probably strangle somebody with it, but I mean, they were telling little kids with teddy bears that they couldn't have their teddy bears. So that, that's going a little too far to me. I understand the point, but it's still going way too far, and they should not have been doing that. So people are thinking that other conventions are going to follow suit. I personally don't believe they will. I personally think they're going to step it up a little bit, maybe be more on the lookout for these type of things, but they're not going to tell you to put your teddy bear back at home or something, or in the hotel room, and you can't use it. They're not going to get any attendees doing that kind of stuff. So they really can't afford to say that kind of stuff to people. Realistic looking weapons, maybe. Like, there are some toy handguns that look like real handguns. If you paint them more metallic, they look realistic. And there are some that you can cock back. And those are really realistic if you take off that orange tip and you paint them like a metallic silver. And I can understand telling them no on that. Plus, those have moving parts. Most of them don't allow that. But you get the point. Even if you glued that stuff shut, and even if it doesn't work at all, if it's a static thing and looks realistic, that's still a problem. So I can understand if they want to ban that kind of stuff from now on, or want to regulate it more. But I still think that the peace bonding is what stops most people from thinking that it's real. You see that tag on them that says, hey, this has been looked at by the staff, and you go, okay, that's not real, I don't have to worry. Obviously, the staff looked at it, and they determined that it's not deadly. They're not going to take a real gun, put a zip tie on it, and go, here you go. It's not going to happen. The other problem with that is that it still doesn't stop someone from bringing a gun in. If it's in, like some people tuck it in their pants, like a gangster or something, like the gangsters nowadays, like the gang kids, people in violent gangs will usually have their weapons tucked in front where police can't search, where it's over their genitals, basically, in their waistband, where cops aren't checking. They're not able to check because it's a private area that they can't touch you there, basically. And so they can get away with carrying guns easier. So even if they're patting people down at the door, it's very unlikely. They can't even put a knife there, and you could take out a real knife and hurt somebody. So really, honestly, nothing is going to prevent people from bringing stuff in. Now, the only thing that will, I did say nothing, but I mean nothing that the con already does or could really do realistically is going to stop them. The one thing that will stop them is metal detectors and extreme searches like bag searches and pat downs that are crazy, like detailed pat downs, that like get really personal almost, things like that. That's the only thing. But there's a problem with that. Conventions aren't like the airport. The airport is the only thing in that building. They own that building, right? The airport owns the airport. That's kind of why it's called the airport. The businesses in it don't own it. They're renting the space out. So in the airport, they have the TSA that has the big metal detectors that you go through. That's because that building is built with the metal detectors. That's what it's for. It's their safety mechanism. There you go. Conventions are different. They're not their own buildings. Conventions don't happen in their own separate buildings. They have to rent out space. So in order to have metal detectors, they have to physically carry them wherever they go. So if a convention has to move from one hotel to another, they have to physically move all of that stuff to another hotel. And they have to move it in and out during the weekend. So Thursday, they'd probably bring it in, then all the people coming in Thursday, and who's to say that, that's going to stop somebody. Maybe they just go, okay, we're going to get our hotel Wednesday then. They come in Wednesday with their weapons, bam, they're already in the hotel now. You can't stop them now, they're already there. And it's days before the convention. There's always ways around it. So that stuff does happen. So they can't really do that, honestly. It'd be almost impossible. I don't think any hotel or convention center is going to allow a con to set up metal detectors that aren't already there. So if the place already has them, yeah, sure, you can implement them, that's fine. They're already there. But some of them, most of them, aren't going to have that. They aren't going to have metal detectors. So getting one in there and setting it up and everything is going to be a lot of work and a lot of money, as well as extra security. It's going to be a lot of money. Conventions aren't going to be able to do that. And then the one thing that I've noticed that no one else has said yet about metal detectors and front doors and things like that, that's a fire hazard. Front doors are supposed to not be blocked at all times. They're also fire exits. There are no other fire exits other than front doors and back doors, which is where they would put those. Anywhere someone can enter, they're going to have to put those. Because if you don't, they'll just enter the one that doesn't have it. So you have to put it in those. And so blocking those doors, the in and out doors, by having lines of people getting scanned through basically and patted down, that's going to take hours just to get people in. So people are going to be waiting at those doors, and if something happens, people need to try and file out. They're not going to be able to get people out because they're going to be blocking all the doors. So I don't know what else they could do other than just be competent. They just have to have their security be more competent and do their job better. I'm not saying that this convention specifically didn't do their job better, but, you know, they have to notice people that are acting suspicious, and they don't do that very easily. I've seen some people at SoccerCon who are not, you know, that they look suspicious as hell, and you never know, you know, but security doesn't remove them. There are a lot of people who are really creepy in the way that they they can tell, and security doesn't really do anything unless you say something. So they need to step up their game and do that. So that's what I think needs to happen. And I don't think that we need metal detectors and searches and all that kind of stuff. I think they just need to be able to spot it better. And if someone is walking around with, maybe if someone's walking around with like huge bags, maybe, I don't know, maybe check it. But like if someone's acting suspicious, they can just go up and say, hey, can I check your bag? I saw, you know, this made me kind of suspicious. And then you as the person should let them, honestly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you're suspected of something. It's just, you know, if you say no, it's going to make them more suspicious of you. So, you know, I mean, if you're not doing anything wrong, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to. I understand a lot of people don't like that, and a lot of people are like, I don't have to let you search me. It's the law. You don't get to search me if I say no. But if you do let them, you're proving you're proving to them that there's no reason they should find you suspicious when you were acting suspicious according to them. So honestly, I think it's a good idea. It helps make things safer, and that's what we all want. But anyway, that should be it for this. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.